Hello, welcome to another video. This video will be particularly useful to you if you are looking to add Wi-Fi or Bluetooth connectivity to your Lenovo branded micro PC, but can't find original parts or found it quite expensive to upgrade.
Of course, one could consider buying dongles, but unfortunately, dongles are never as fast as built-in system.
And in terms of special features, the features can completely transform your experience may not be available with dongles. Since dongles hardly get driver updates, security may be a concern too. In terms of reliability, if you read reviews, you will see a lot of people find them unreliable. After wasting money, they opt for built-in system.
The reliable ones look awkwardly big and cumbersome, and when you add the cost of buying both separately, it might end up costing more in total. What we have here is the result of many trial and error to come up with something that could be a good substitute for original kits. But after running the tests ourselves, we were very surprised with how close the performance was to original.
You will see performance comparison later on in the video. First, we will take you through the installation process. Fitting is very easy, just placing two antennas in right places and connecting them to the card, that's all.
To open the casing, unscrew the back screw. Then place the machine on flat surface for good grip.
Then with your both thumbs, push the top part forward. Case should come off easily, revealing the internals. It is likely that you will have 2.5-inch SSD caddy inside. To take the caddy out, press that part inwards. Be careful with that connecting ribbon. To disconnect the ribbon, pull the tiny flap upwards with your fingernail. For the external antenna, the installation process is same for all models, no matter how old or new.
You can start by finding the antenna hole, which looks like this.
Usually they are blocked off with a metal cover, which can be snapped off easily with subtle push. Now grab the SMA cable. You will notice one side is flat, which will be useful in a bit.
Put one washer on, as we want one on the inside.
Since the space is confined, it can be a bit tricky.
It's easier if you put the machine upwards. Then feed the SMA through. Be sure to match flat sides.
Now put the remaining washer on the other side, using the nut. Be sure to tighten it securely. It's a good practice to tuck the cables away. And that's how we get the external antenna done.
Moving on to the internal antenna. Here, things will be slightly different based on what model of the micro PC we are working with. As a guide, models will be specified on the screen.
This section applies to the model displayed on the screen. For this model's best place to mount internal antenna is on the front left. Make sure the area is dust-free and dry. As the space is bigger than needed, place the antenna as low as possible and while the right size is close to the edge. Peel the sticker off and make sure you press firmly for good sticking.
Now that we have both antennas sorted, it's time to connect them to the card.
The card has two jacks named main and aux. Connect external one to the main and switch later if signal is weak.
Connecting can be slightly difficult. The best way to do it is to align them first and press gently with the fingernail. When you have them both connected securely, just slot the card to the M.2 slot.
Now, to ensure cables stay connected, be sure to use this little bracket. Now for the models displayed on the screen, the internal antenna placement is slightly different.
Place the antenna right in the middle here.
If you have even older models like displayed on the screen, this is where you will have to place the antenna.
And that's the end of the fitting process.
You can now turn the machine on, and system should automatically detect the card. On occasions, you will have to install the drivers.
Easiest way to search the drivers is to take the card name and search on the internet. Stick to downloading from Intel's website only.
Now it's time to do some tests on our installed kit.
As we do not have fast enough network to check full speed, we have done it on an internal server where a PC is used as a server.
PC and the router connected directly, but the test device is connected wirelessly over Wi-Fi. Any information flowing through is transferred via Wi-Fi, wirelessly, revealing the capability of the Wi-Fi kit. On the left, we have original kit like it arrived from factory.
On the right, we have the kit we have just installed. Here you can check for yourself how both machines have same hardware configuration too and connected to same network.
We will test both 2.4 and 5 GHz connection in a setting where modem placed close as well as far, to give you an idea of varied situations. Let's do the close proximity first, begin with 5 GHz.
This is just incredible. Our generic kit managed 1766 upload and 1632 download.
Let's fire up the original kit and see what we get.
1783 upload and 1764 download. Slightly higher than generic, but I am still impressed how close the scores are.
Let's do these on repeat to check consistency. Seems pretty consistent. We would imagine cases would be responsible for some signal blocking, so we will put the case on and run the test.
It appears even with the casing performance did not suffer, which is wonderful. Now, moving on to 2.4 GHz in close proximity, let's see what we get.
Bear in mind, 2.4 GHz generally has much lower speed.
At 320 upload and 311 download, not bad. You can play many streams of 4K with that, as 4K playback only requires about 25 megabits per second. As usual, the original kit scored slightly higher. Despite that, I am still very happy with the generic kit's performance. Now let's see how this performs when router is placed further away, beginning with 5 GHz.
.693 upload and 924 download, not bad.
Although difference in both upload and download is quite big, probably because I just changed the network band. It tends to do that after making a switch. Usually they are quite close.
Let's see what we get on the original.
910 over 1067. The difference between the original and generic is quite wide. Still wonderful to achieve these scores.
Now, switching to 2.4 GHz band, let's see how things are.
As mentioned earlier, data transfer over 2.4 GHz is slower. Significant drop, but that is expected.
We will have to wait for a few moments and see to get a clear picture. Wow, that's a surprise. The generic scored a lot better. Let's do one more lap to see if it is consistent. It appears in this scenario, the generic is indeed better.
Now to conclude, it appears the generic is very close to original in the test we performed. Admittedly, this is not the most scientific test. Maybe. We didn't consider a lot of other variable.
But if it is me, I will take this any day. Now we are going to test the cards we sell on eBay. We list them as option 1, 2, 3, and so forth.
We have already tested option 4 during earlier tests. This card is Wi-Fi 6 with inclusive Bluetooth 5.2. This has dual band to support, 160 MHz transfer capability, MU-MIMO, and OFDMA.
Top advertised speed is 2.4 gigabits per second.
You should know it is impossible to score advertised speed even with original kit.
Now we are conducting test on option 3, which is Wi-Fi 5 with inclusive Bluetooth 5.1. This has dual band support, 160 MHz transfer capability, and MU-MIMO. Top advertised speed is 1.7 gigabits per second, but as I said earlier, you are unlikely to get this in real life. The features are very close to Wi-Fi 6, hence this is one of the best value per pound card right now. Capable yet cheap.
Our next test is on option 2, which is Wi-Fi 5 with inclusive Bluetooth 4.2. This has dual band support and MU-MIMO. Top advertised speed is 867 megabits per second.
This is still good enough for office work, multitasking, and 4K multimedia streaming.
Last but not least, this test is on option 1, which is Wi-Fi 5 with inclusive Bluetooth 4.2. This has dual band support, but has no MU-MIMO.
Top advertised speed is 433 megabits per second.
This is also good enough for office work, multitasking, and 4K multimedia streaming, but avoid if your network at house is already weak.
Now we will do the test by switching the network to 2.4 GHz. This will, however, be the end of commentary. Thank you for watching. A like and subscription will be appreciated.